How does a chess master's brain work? So this guy's 2290. He plays e4. We're going to be playing e5. And then he's playing the king's gambit. Let's go d5 here. This is called the fat bear counter gambit. And when they take on d5, this is always hard. I think we play e4, or do we take? I think the move is e4 to prevent knight to f3. And then eventually we take on d5. This is always hard. But it's very important that we don't play too slow in the opening, because once it gets in the hard stuff, then calculation is going to be crucial. Now, c4, I should be able to just play c6 here and just play down the pawn, to be honest. If takes, knight takes, then I'm going to have such a strong grip on the d4 square. So c4 is being too greedy, and things will not go good for him. So he's attacking my pawn. Let me simply develop, guard the pawn. If he takes, I'm still going to take. Otherwise, I'm just threatening to take on d5 here. So d3 was played. If I takes, he takes, I takes, and I'm losing. There's takes, but that helps him to get developed. Okay, bishop to b4, I really like. Just keep the tension. Has to be bishop b4. Because now if he takes, I'm able to play knight takes. And once I get my king out the center, his king is going to stay in the center. So he took, I take, hitting the knight twice. Queen h4 is an idea. Getting my king out the center of the board, starting my attack on his king. This will not go good for him. So queen to d4 makes a lot of sense. It hits my unprotected knight, it hits the unprotected pawn. Queen to h4 check is what I'm thinking. Some offense is the best defense type of business. Okay, keep in mind that I can also castle here, because if queen takes, there's rook e8. But let's say I check g3, knight takes, knight f3. Okay, let's take the safe route and just castle. He can't take my knight due to rook e1, and queen h4 is now a real threat. Bishop c5 hitting f2 is a real threat. This is what happens when you play gambit lines and you don't know how to counter gambits. Okay, knight to f3. I like the idea of just playing rook e8, but I'm assuming he has bishop e2. Bishop c5 just immediately hits the queen. And if queen, okay, but if queen takes rook e8, there's knight e4. Interesting. With that being said, let's just play rook. Okay, rook e8, bishop e2. Let's go rook e8. We're bringing more pieces in the game. Rook e8 is also an attacking move. Bishop e2 was played. Now bishop c5 is a threat. Well, he's not able to get castled due to bishop c5. Bishop c5 hits the queen. Knight f2 doesn't really get much. So what I'm planning on doing is just hitting him with queen e7 or queen a5. Queen a5, that's more pressure on the pinned knight. Bishop d2 I'm expecting though. Pawn c5, not really. Queen to e7, knight e5, queen h4, check. Because the knight no longer guards h4. So let's hit him with queen to e7. If he castles GG's, bishop c5 wins the queen. So what I'm trying to do now is to ensure that I develop my pieces with tempo. I'm trying to prevent him from developing, but I'm trying to ensure that every move that I play is an attacking move. I don't want him to just play normal development moves. This is how you're going to be getting these guys to blunder. For example, I'm threatening this bishop on e2 because the bishop on the king is on the same line. Okay, he decided to castle the king. Why would he castle the king? This guy's 2290. The queen and the king is now on the same diagonal. Once I hit him with bishop c5, then the queen is just pinned. And we won a queen on like move 11. If he takes, I takes, and he could also be getting smothered, mate. If knight takes, I grab the queen, then take the knight. So bishop e3. Okay, let's just take the queen off the board. I'm not sure why he's not resigning. Okay, the bishop is still unprotected. If I take the knight and then take rook to e1, could win my queen because my rook is unprotected. Nevertheless, though, I want to trade. I like the idea of pawn c5 to just, yeah, let's just go c5, hit the bishop. Because bishop on e3 is losing. Bishop on f2 allows the trade. Bishop on e5 allows me to develop with tempo, trade, f6. I mean, he's losing. So he took. Now if I take, he takes my pawn, and still if I take, I lose my queen, which means I'm going to take on d4, so that way his knight and his bishop is skewered. There's no knight c3, but there is knight g3. Let's play, okay, there's check d4, there's bishop g4, knight takes. Let's play queen to e3 check. I like the idea of d3, but I just want to ensure that I finish my development. So let's just go bishop g4, knight d7 if I have to. Like, I feel more comfortable with my rooks connected. Knight takes d4 here is an interesting move, but I'm just winning. There's not really much that he can do. Okay, so rook e1. I take the knight. Bishop takes, I take the rook. I take the knight. Rook takes. I play d3. He takes the queen, I take, and then I'm gonna take and win. Okay, the thing is, I don't have to even do all of that. Let me just develop the knight. The only square he has for the bishop is back to d1, and then I'm just gonna move my queen. So knight e5 is interesting. If I take the knight, the bishop takes my bishop, and then I take, he takes the queen, I takes, rook moves, d3 is winning. Yeah, I'm just trying to convert this. I'm just going to convert it now. Let's take the knight. If he takes, I'm just going to take the bishop. I cannot lose with such a huge material advantage. Okay, now we take. I'm about to lose the queen, but I'm ahead by 8 points. I'm just simplifying the game. Let's hit the rook. And then the plan is to play d3, d2. My knight is also covering the promotion score. So rook c1, I hit him with d. Who? That's coming next. How is he going to protect the d2 square? That's the question. He's not really able to do it properly with his knight. So I'm about to win his rook. He finally resigns. All right, we're playing h1. He's 2384. Let's play knight f3. So he plays d5, and I'm going to play d4 here. This could be any opening that I'm playing. It could be a queen's gambit. It could be a Catalan. He plays knight to f6. Now let's play g3. I'm going to turn it into like a Catalan setup. But Catalan only happens if I play c4, so it's still weird. And then now that he plays c5, it's going to be a bit weird for me if I'm trying to go Catalan. So let's just play c3 here. If he takes the pawn, I'm just going to take back. I'm just going to play regular development moves against him. So he took, let's just take with the pawn, knight c6, we go bishop g2, and once my king is castled, I'm good. That's the whole point. Get the king out the center of the board first. Now, this guy's very fast, especially in bullet. So I have to ensure that I keep my time higher than his. So he's just playing regular normal development move. Let me just get my king out the center of the board now. Knight e5, knight c3. He plays h6 because, he's trying to be on the lookout for knight h4 so he can go bishop h7. Let me just develop my knight so that way I can have some knight e5 ideas. Because if he takes, I'm going to take, attack the pawn. Now, queen to b3 I also like because it applies pressure to d5 and b7. So a move like bishop to g5 would have been okay. So he plays e6. Again, he's just developing his pieces very, very normally. The question is what to do with this dark squared bishop, though. That's the thing. Maybe I should just play b3 or just leave it on d2. Bishop f4. Let's just put it on f4, actually. Knight to h5. I'm just going to pull it back to e3. And I'm just going to be playing moves like rook c1, e3, b4. This is going to be one of those longer games. Like pieces are not going to be thrown around. Like we're going to have to display some positional technique in order to win this. So bishop d6, I don't mind because this is my bad bishop. So I'm going to take, and the queen I'm expecting to take, and then I just play the move rook to c1, putting my rook on the open file. So I don't necessarily have any bad pieces, but my bishop is pointing towards a pawn chain there, so that's kind of tricky. Knight b5 hits the queen. He's just going to move the queen. I like the idea of knight a4 to c5. I also like the idea of just playing pawn to a3 with ideas of pawn b4, and it also prevents his ideas of knight b4. But he plays a6 himself. Now I'm thinking of playing knight a4. Yeah, let's just go knight a4, threatening b6 and c5. Those are actually weaknesses in his position. Like my c4 and b3 scores are also weaknesses, so he has to be careful. But usually whenever you move one of your knight to the edge of the board, the other knight is able to come in the center, but he decides to just immediately hit me with b5. Okay, we're clearly not going to be attacking the rook. c5 is definitely the square for the knight. That's a nice knight, by the way, especially if I'm able to play b4, but it's not gonna be easy because he's always gonna have his pawn breaks as well. Okay, so he immediately jumps his knight into e4. If I takes, he goes bishop takes. I mean, there's just e3 here because if he takes, I have rook takes. I don't necessarily have to react to that just yet. I can also go knight h4, hit the bishop. That's interesting. Knight h4, hit the bishop. If the bishop moves, then I take. Okay, let's play e3 first. I think the d4 pawn needs to be guarded in order for those little ideas to work. And I'm not trying to rush and then blunder. Okay, rook to b8, I'm not expecting. So he clearly wants to play pawn b4, which is definitely an idea. And if I play b4, he's probably going to play a4. So, well, if I takes, there's bishop takes. Knight to a4, knight a4, bishop a7. Yeah, let's go for this now. Let's go for this because his attack is coming. We have to be careful. His attack is coming in now. So bishop a7, bishop a7. I take with the knight. Nah, maybe take with the nah. Can't be with the bishop. Let's take with the knight. And the whole idea is to target e4 and c6 at the same time. So if he takes with the pawn, queen c2, now I have two pieces targeting e4, two pieces targeting e6. My knight could be getting trapped on g5, by the way. So if he takes with the bishop, I'm just going to trade so that way my knight gets access to g2. It's a weird position. I'm not winning, but I don't like the fact that he has both of his rooks looking like that. So he took with the bishop. I was expecting that. Let's take with my bishop. And then once he takes with the pawn, I go queen to c2. Because queen c2, it now I have two pieces attacking his knight, and my queen is attacking his e4 pawn. So that looks like a fork to me. If he plays rook to c8, I just take. Pawn to g5, I just go back. So I mean, it looks like I'm winning a pawn. Let's see. I'm expecting rook c8 because what are his rooks doing on b8 and a8? Knight e7 is also something, but I'm taking on e4 no matter what his next move is, especially since his time is running out. We're not going to be holding up the pressure now. So knight to a5 is very strong. He wants his knight on the c4 square. And if I takes knight c4, he's also threatening to play knight e2, but pawn is a pawn at the end of the day. Let's just take and hopefully we don't get fork. So knight here is threatening this and this. So rook c2 is the obvious move. You know, it prevents the fork. I can double up my rooks on the c file. Eventually, I'm going to play knight f3 to e5 or knight f3 to d2, and then I'm going to be getting rid of this annoying knight. Now, I'm ahead by a pawn. I would love to start trading pieces off the board because once we get to the end game, I'm going to win with my extra pawn. So he decided to play rook to d8, which is interesting. I wasn't expecting the rook to be on d8. Maybe he wants to play queen to d5 and go to an endgame. But let's continue with the plan. Let's just play rook to c1, doubling up on the knight. So that way, once I attack the knight, I'm just going to get rid of the knight. Queen d5 takes, and then his knight is going to be very strong. He decided to play queen e7, and immediately I'm thinking of a move like knight f5, because if he takes, I take. But once he moves the queen, I don't have anything. Maybe he wants to play e5. My knight should not be on the edge of the board anyway, so let's just pull back the knight and not waste time. Knight e5 or knight d2 is the plan. You're ahead in material, start trading pieces off the board. That's what I'm trying to do. I mean, one thing to keep in mind, if you're playing a rapid game and you're down by a pawn and you're down 2 minutes on the clock, things is not going your way. Now, f5 is either a very nice move or it's just bad because it weakens his position. I'm thinking of just playing a move like queen to d3, but I'm putting my queen on the same line as his rook. So I'm going to be expecting e5, but then if e5, he loses this pawn, which means e5 is not possible. So queen d3, if e5 is not possible, maybe queen f6, knight d2, takes e5. I can always play d2, so let's just hit him with queen d3. Let's keep up the pressure. Anything that goes to e5, we take on f5. I did not think about rook here. Okay, so queen to b7 is very strong. It attacks my knight. The plan was to play knight d2 though and just get rid of his knight. Knight d2, there's knight e5. But after queen to b3, his pawn is going to be under attack. His knight is going to be under attack. And there's no knight f3 due to knight takes f3. So it looks scary, but nothing is there. Like knight t5, oh, you're not able to take, but nothing is there. Queen b3, and I'm fine. So now I'm basically saying either you trade knights, which I would love to do because I'm the one who's ahead by a pawn, or you get your knight out of my half of the board. This is called the principle of neutralization, by the way. But he's weakening his position with moves like e6, and then once he moves the knight, now both of my rooks that is on the c file is just going to get super active. Okay, he actually went for it, which is crazy. Let's go queen b3. Now his knight and the pawn is under attack. If knight f3, we takes, queen takes, we win the pawn. If he just moves the pawn to a random square, I take the knight. So he's about to lose more material. Knight g4, I didn't really think about, but that's a free pawn and it comes with check. So let's take the free pawn with check. And I'm attacking this pawn, and rook c7 is coming. Okay, this is GG's. Queen takes f5 or rook c7. They both win. Queen takes f5, however, is more forcing because it immediately attacks the knight. And okay, there's no sacrificial moves. There's no way to protect the knight easily. And if he has to pull his knight back, then I'm just winning. Okay, takes. If knight takes f2, king takes f2, I lose the queen. If knight takes f2, queen takes f2, Rook f8, queen g2, and I'm winning. Okay, this is winning then. Yeah. Now we're ahead by 3 pawns. We're ahead on time. We're ahead on position. Good game, h1 chess. Okay, so he sacrificed the knight on h2, which I was not expecting. Like, why is that not just a free knight? Because this guy is tricky. Oh, if I take the knight, there's rook f8, queen e4, rook f2. I don't want to allow all of that. There's no knight f3, so I'm thinking of playing rook to c7 first. Just attack the queen first. Offense is the best defense. Queen can't go here, 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 here. So the queen does not have good forward moves. If he attacks back my queen, I sack and take. If he plays queen b6, queen b6, queen b6, queen b6, then I take the knight. Because if rook c8, I hit him with rook c8, if rook f8, and his rook is going to be pinned and he's going to be forced to. How am I finding these moves? So rook c7, don't take the knight. Don't risk it. There's no knight f3. Queen b6, then we take the knight. Because if rook attacks the queen, we do not move the queen because offense is the best defense. So now we take, he's going to quickly play rook f8 thinking, oh, I get counterplay. There's no counterplay there, bro. Or maybe he's assuming that I'm able to play rook f7, but rook to f8 would be the nice move. Just trade everything off the board because now I'm ahead by 5 points. Okay, so queen a5 was played instead. My knight is under attack. The theme of today's lesson is called offense is the best defense because I'm not protecting that knight. I'm thinking queen g4, queen f6, queen f7, queen e5. Like anything that threatens a checkmate, basically. Well, honestly though, any move that I play that threatens a checkmate, he's gonna play rook g8. And what do I get? Why not just still play? Oh no, if I play rook c8, he then takes the knight. I don't want to rush this. Okay, fine. Let's play knight b3. It attacks the queen, so I wouldn't say it's a defensive move. He equalized the time though, so that's kind of scary. I don't like the fact that I'm doing all of this thinking now when I'm ahead by +5. But let's see. I'm expecting queen a4, then I play knight c4, hit the queen, and the queen will be trapped if the queen goes to a4. And if the queen goes back to b6, queen. I mean, rook to c6 is just very strong. I'm not even gonna think about it because now the only square for the queen is b8. Like all his pieces are just going back. Oh, it's actually completely over. Oh my, if he plays queen to b8, I sack my rook. So he decided to sack the queen, and now we just take the queen. Okay, rook to f8. Now we have queen c2, guard the pawn. And I'm expecting resignation here. So b5, let's just play king g2, keep our pawn safe. Okay, now we're just gonna play rook c7, and this is over. He's just trying to not quit. So the rook goes to e8. We play queen to g6, pressuring e8 and g7, so that way when he guards the mate, we're still able to take on g7 because the rook protects his rook. So if he takes my rook, I take his rook with check. So let's take the rook. King has to move. We check, and okay, he's still not resigning. Let's get the knight in. That's just a rook. No, I'm just gonna queen my pawn. He's just not resigning. He finally resigns. So he sent me a rematch. I'm just gonna accept the rematch. Let's just play e5. Okay, now he plays d4. He's a trickster. Let's just take the pawn though. Queen takes allows knight c6, and now I'm attacking the queen. And once he moves the queen, I have knight f6. Now I have two of my pieces developed. I'm just developing my pieces, to be honest. Like bishop to d2 is an interesting way to play because it makes it very hard for me to develop my bishop. Like, how do I develop my bishop here? I'm thinking b6 actually, so that way I could play bishop to c5. b6, knight c3, bishop c5 is the plan. B6. Okay, let's play B6. For some reason, B6 to me is a bit suspicious, but the goal is to develop, and I can always play bishop B7 to develop my light squared bishop and just castle. Like, if he allows me to castle my king before him, then he's going to be in trouble. Okay, now he plays knight C3. I actually wanted to put my bishop on B4. Now, if I play bishop C5 to hit the queen, I'm assuming he has queen G3, and then I castle, and then bishop H6, and then I'm gonna be under attack, but we're still gonna do it. We're still gonna do it. If I have to be attacked, then I have to be attacked. In the last game, I was the one who was attacking him. So queen g3, I castle the king. Bishop h6 threatens a checkmate. Knight h5 attacks the queen and defend against the mate. And once he moves his queen to attack my knight, I'm gonna play queen f6 to attack his bishop, which means if he takes my knight, I take his bishop, and okay, it's just gonna be a weird little position, but we're going for it. We're definitely going for it. I'm expecting something like bishop to e2 here to prevent knight h5. Bishop h6. I'm assuming he knows that I'm not going to play g6 if bishop h6. Like, if he castles on the queen side, it's going to be like the craziest game because I think his attack is just a bit faster than mine. So I'm going to have to find like some very nice defensive move. So he did find the move castle. Okay, so now I'm thinking of just d6, like I have to develop. Like development to me is very important now. There's also bishop d6, but there's f4. All right, let's play d6. It's such an ugly move because my bishop feels trapped on c5. Oh, bishop g5 is just strong because it threatens knight d5. Wait, what? I don't want to lose like this. Bishop to g5. Okay, I have bishop e6, I'm assuming. Yeah, I have bishop e6. So he did play bishop g5. Getting scary. I mean, the plan from here was to play bishop e6. Knight d5, there should be knight e4. Bishop e6. Yeah, let's go bishop e6. We have to develop. I mean, development is crucial. Let's not waste time on development. Bishop to b5 attacks the knight, but there's knight d4 counter attack the bishop. Even though I want to play knight e5 to d7 or knight e5 to g6, because I'm trying to ensure that my king is safe. And the fact that his queen is on the same line as my king, it just makes me so uncomfortable. Like if I could replace pawn to b6 with pulling my bishop back to e7, then I'd feel better. But this is weird. Pin is just too annoying. So bishop to d3 is a very interesting move. I think he wants to play e5 and then open a lot of stuff pointing towards my king. Like I want to immediately hit him with something like knight to e5 just to get rid of that bishop actually. So knight e5, f4, and then takes, then he's threatening e5. Oh, that's crazy. What if I play, okay, what to do, what to do? What if I play king h8? So that way I'm able to play h6. It's kind of slow though. There's also knight f3. Ah, this spin is crazy. Okay, let's go king h8. I do not like my position. I'm about to be attacked. If I could go bishop to d4, that would be good, but the knight is going to be on f3 guarding that square. Unless I'm able to play bishop g4, but then there's knight e5. Oh, yeah, it takes. Queen takes. All right, let's see. Okay, he plays immediate pawn f4. He wants to play f5 and e5 at the same time. H6, bishop back, hit the queen. Wait. All right, so let's play h6. Let's just play h6. H6 has to. Oh, h6. There's queen h4, and I lost. Oxide. How do I do this? Do I just go bishop g4, hit the rook? All right, this is probably losing, and I'm about to play a very outrageous move, which will probably cost me the game because I'm not seeing anything else. So I'm actually going to play queen e8. And I'm basically allowing him to double up my pawns, which is crazy. Like, my idea is so that way I'm able to play rook to g8 and attack his queen, but I'm not going to survive this, unfortunately. And I have to play fast. If I'm losing without time on the clock, then I'm just going to lose. So he's thinking about it if he needs to take. I think he needs to play f5 and attack my bishop. And then when I move my bishop, then he takes, play knight d5, threaten f6 and c7. At that point, I'm planning on playing rook g8, hit the queen. And if queen h4, I check and play bishop g5. That's my plan. It seems to me like it's just a trick. But I mean, just burn time, bro. Like, I don't know what to play. You're using up a lot of time. Just keep doing that. Oh, wait, what? Immediate queen h4? He wants to just take. Isn't there? I think he wants to play e5 as well. Like knight g8, there's e5 threatens mate, but then I have g6 though. Hmm. Okay. Another uncomfortable move, knight g8. Knight g8 is so that way he doesn't double up my pawns. Now the bishop and the queen is pointing towards h7. So e5 I have to play h6 or g6. Leaning towards g6. h6. Oh, but then he has f5. Backside. Oh my lord. This attack is Okay, e5. E5 I played g6. E5, g6, f5, and then I takes. E5, g6 takes, I takes. Okay, fine, never mind. I'm chilling. No, I'm not chilling. I'm not chilling. I have 1 minute than him. Again. Hmm. I need to get rid of this bishop. Knight b4. Like, what if he just develops his knight though? What do I play then? Maybe I'm threatening f6 to trap the bishop. Just play e5, bro, and threaten the mate. Because the moment he plays e5, I'm gonna immediately play g6. Because he's using a lot of time now. So e5, I play g6. Oh, whoa, wait, am I losing? G6 check, takes, queen take. Oh, did I not see that, man? G6 check, takes, pawn takes is interesting. Or h6, h6 f5. Bishop back, f6, queen takes, 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 h6, f5, bishop back, knight up. Okay, this is not what I expected to happen. I think I have to play h6. g6 would have weakened my dark squares. My dark squared bishop is all the way over here, not doing anything. Is this check helping me anytime in the game? That's what I'm thinking. Like if I can check and then take, like, okay, f5 I was expecting. F5 I have to move, so let's just move. And if f6 I push. No, if f6 I take on e5, there's no sacks just yet. e6 I take, I'm threatening to take. And then if he takes, wait, if he takes, I check takes, check, king over, and there's no attack. Very interesting. Very interesting. What if he plays knight f3? If knight f3, I played knight takes because I'm trying to trade, right? I do not think there's an attack here. No, never mind. Knight d5. I forgot about knight d5. So knight d5, I play queen takes. I don't care about c7. There's bigger fish to fry. But there's knight f3. Wait, I think my queen is getting trapped if knight d5. But he only has 1.5 minutes on the clock. I'm gonna flag him. Knight d5. Wait, do I have to play queen takes e5 though? Like, well, he's threatening a fork. Queen takes, knight f3. Oh, I can take the knight. There's no discovered attack. Yo, the guy's just burning all his time. So he just develops his knight, which is very principled move. Now I take on e5. Then he has rook to e1. I don't think I want to take with the pawn. I want to take with the knight. Because I need to have as much pieces defending my king as possible. Yeah, plus in some universe, I may want to get rid of that bishop. So takes. Good. I'm ahead by a pawn, by the way, if that counts. f6 bucks. Wait. If he takes, I takes, and I should be safe, right? Because the bishop is going to be under attack at that point. If I takes, there's check, and I'm losing. I can't take, I can't push. So I can't react to that move. I have to use the time to bring something in the game, like queen e6. And queen e6 threatens queen g4 to trade the queens off the board. Whenever you're under attack, you would definitely want to trade. Like if he plays a regular move like h3, that would be strong. Like if he takes and I take, the bishop is under attack, queen g4, and I'm winning actually. So even though his time is running out, he still needs to be very accurate. Okay, knight to e4 seems to be aggressive, but my bishop is guarded. What if I play queen g4? No. Queen g4, no. He takes with check, I takes. One more check on f6, I takes. Then queen takes with check, I go back. That's probably losing, to be honest. That's probably losing. What do I have though? That's the thing. Here, takes, check, takes, check, king back. Okay, after king back, he has no checks. After king back, he has no checks. Plus, he does not have a lot of time on the clock. And I'm also threatening queen f4 to get the queens off the board. So I just takes, check, king back. Takes, check, king back. He has no checks. If queen takes, I get the queens off the board and I'm winning. Yes, 30 seconds though. Rook to f1 is the move. My God. Oh, so he took a pawn. He took a pawn, which means knight f6 is coming next. Knight f6. Can't do this. Check, check, king over, or queen back, check, King over knight takes. Oh God, f5. Check. f5. Check. Oh God, f6. Oh God, oh God, oh God, oh God. Oh, queen takes. Check. Force the queens off the board. Oh, okay. I should be able to win this then. Okay, now I just need to play fast. Okay, dang, I'm losing, but I have to flag him. And we flagged him.